But a couple of things before we close for today. And again, we're not trying to summarize what just happened. Thank God for that. I did have a chance to walk around and take a look at some of the signs, and I'd encourage all of you to do that before you leave. Jot notes. And it's interesting, both the breadth of comments, the depth and length of the suggestions. But I think it also reflects the sort of diversity of people we have in the room, people who see a particular issue as absolutely critical for building resilience, strengthening resilience, and they put it out on the page here, and I think that's important. And if you've had some of the discussion today, there's going to be a lot more tomorrow. You've been discussing with colleagues at the breaks. If there's a pressing issue and you're wondering to yourself, why hasn't that been discussed? Why is this not part of this dialogue? Get it up on one of these so we can flag it for discussion tomorrow, weave it into the discussions we're having. I think that's going to be really important. I also want to acknowledge that although I said this morning we're in a very different place than we were in 2011, 2012, where we were talking about a bunch of good ideas, now we're beginning to build the evidence behind what sources of resilience matter, what the return on investment of resilience is. We've got a long way to go. And I think that, so it was a very tough call about when do you say we have enough evidence to call a meeting. I think we definitely have enough evidence to pull together for a meeting like this, but there's an awful long way to go, and I think some of the things we've seen reflected on the board around systems level measurement. I was involved in the urban discussion where there was some sense that they had done, there's been a better body of work done on systems level measurement in urban settings, and yet they don't connect that down to household level outcomes. Conversely, in some of the rural areas, I know one of the issues we've struggled with is how to do systems level measurement. So there is a scale, sort of different scales issue here. Resilience at the community level, not just the sum of household level resilience, but actually a locus of resilience in its own right, the same in terms of systems level, et cetera. So I'm not, as Stefan said earlier, I could literally ramble on for hours about this. Some of you have been subjected to that, so I won't do that again here. But I did want to point out that we are having a social reception. It's going to be held at B2, that's BTZOO. It's on the sign. I can read, but I should have my reading glasses on. I wish I could say it was a fully hosted bar, but in the tradition of the U.S. government, we will be providing appetizers and non-alcoholic beverages, so feel free to buy your friend a drink. I think with that, we will be spending a little bit of time collating the information we collected from you here. As Spee said, I'll be giving a quick rundown in the morning of some of the key issues that came out of this exercise to sort of launch us into the day tomorrow so we can be carrying some of these thoughts, comments, and ideas into the discussion in the various panels. The one other takeaway I would say is that we had a very ambitious agenda in terms of 3 concurrent sessions on very exciting topics. So number one, very difficult to decide which one to go to. Some things that I'm very passionate about, I actually skipped to go to things I didn't know much about. That was my personal strategy. We also were very ambitious in putting 55 minutes on each of these panel discussions. So I think we're just getting the conversation started. The real goal here is, as we said at the beginning, to let people get a sense of what the range of evidence is that's out there, to build a network of people who are now connected to each other, and to plant the seeds for collaboration. So I hope we're at least on the way to doing that, and I think the next logical step is a happy hour. So with that, thank you for your participation, and I hope as many of you that can will join us at B2, and that starts at 5:30.